All right, good evening, everyone. We're on a minute early just to make sure that we've got everything set up so we can get this going and recorded and make sure everybody can hear us and that you can see the screen.
Welcome, everybody. If you can see our screen, if you can see the...
No, I have to show it. Okay.
So if you can hear us, first of all, please raise your hands. Cool,
All right.
Awesome. Thank you, Tracy. Thanks, Terry. What's up, buddy? Ty, nice,
Cool. Okay,
nice. Thank you.
And can you see my screen? If you can, raise your hand.
Yeah, so now can you see the anatomy of a seven-figure Facebook business?
Cool.
Awesome.
All right. So we have a lot of people coming on tonight. I'm going to wait a moment for, you know what you clicked on? You clicked on the course, I think. Sorry about that. We're just working out the kinks right here. But anyways, we're excited to have all of you here tonight. We should have a pretty good packed house. And I'm just now looking at my go-to webinar screen right here in the box. And it says we only have room for 500 people. I thought I had a 1,000-room membership.
Uh-oh.
And I was pushing this thing. We were like, we want to get 1,000 people registered for this. We're so excited. But we know, usually what you get about, X amount registered and only 50% show up, 30 to 50%. But I see a lot of familiar names. I'm very excited that y'all are here. I know I've spoken to a few of you this week, either via email or on the phone. And I said, you guys got to come. You got to come to this webinar. This is something that we have done. We did it a couple of weekends ago, and we got a lot of good feedback. And we thought this would be really good presentation for those of you on our list or those of you that are following us on Facebook. And let me ask you a quick question. I'm going to put everybody's hands down. How many of you here don't really know our story? Raise your hand. Okay. Well, Jeff, you know our story.
Well, maybe he doesn't.
Maybe he doesn't. Okay, cool.
Okay.
We've got a few.
Meaning, like our background, kind of where we came from, how we got into all of this. That's what we mean by our story.
Okay.
So if you're not familiar with that, raise your hand.
Okay. Well, cool. There's most of you here. That actually makes me feel good. Does that make you feel good?
Yes, but I still think there's a few that we should still kind of cover.
Oh, we will.
Where we've been and
yeah,
where we're going. But we're excited about this particular presentation. It's a new presentation for us, mainly because there's a lot of new things that we've changed this year in our business portfolio. And I know here we are in October, but a lot of these things, it took a long time. You try and formulate your whole business portfolio. You've got strategies, you've got ideas. Some things take a long time in the making. Some things you implement right away. But what we're going to share with you right now, tonight, where we are in our business, it's really what has taken us. In the making, it's been 3 years. Now, if you were to, rewind 3 years ago, and we wouldn't sit here and say, "Oh, we're planning on doing all this stuff so that in October of 2014 we'll have this presentation." It didn't quite work out that way. There was a lot of ups and downs and uncertainties and a lot of bumps in the road along the way. But what we're going to share with you tonight is basically where we are in our business right now and the strategies that we've been, whether consciously or just sort of subconsciously, been working on over the last several years and have been implementing, and now it's really come to fruition now. So this is sort of a distilled version of what's taken us 3.5, almost 4 years to really kind of map out and iron out and get to. And it's really a formula that that we've been able to put into place. Now, a long time ago, one of my original mentors, a very smart guy, way smarter than me, way smarter than a lot of people. He said to me, Bill, as a salesperson, as an entrepreneur, you need to have a formula to make this work for you. He said, in the absence of a formula, you're just going to be, spinning your wheels in the mud, kind of grasping at straws, and wondering why other people are making it happen and you're not. And that made a lot of sense at that time, and it makes even more sense now. And I think you'll understand why when we share with you what we're going to share tonight.
And I think that also, we have sat back over the past month or two and really analyzed what we have done in our business. Now, we didn't start out 7 figures. This is a 7-figure Facebook business that we're going to show you, a formula that we're going to show you, because that's where we're at. But it's the formula that anybody on this call should be using if they want to build up, even if it's just to 5, 6, and then to 7, then to 8 and beyond. It's one of those formulas that you should implement into your business if you want to build a successful brand or a successful Facebook business online, meaning you want to build whatever your business is. You want to get leads for it. You want to get sales. You want to make it profitable. And whatever that business is, it will work with you through this formula that we're going to show you. And the thing about Facebook is it's always changing. So what we're sharing with you tonight is the most important things you need to be doing if you want to be successful on Facebook, because there is a lot of strategies out there on Facebook that don't necessarily need to be in your business. They're not going to make that much of a difference, okay? You're looking for what we're going to share with you tonight. This is going to be the big things that are going to make the big differences in your business. And you might find that there are some things along the way that you might be doing and that's not really helping your business. So listen carefully tonight. And as we go through this formula, take some notes. We will be recording this. And, if you don't want to take notes tonight, that's perfectly fine. You can watch it, then go back and watch the recording, because then you could pause it and take notes and then make sure you're doing it in your own business. So after this webinar, you may just decide, oh my gosh, Bill and Michelle, I've been doing this all wrong. I'm about to just wipe this all clean and start fresh from exactly what you guys have been showing us. So, one of the things that we want to talk about is that 7 figures looks great, but we got to be real here. I mean, we didn't start out that way. When I started out in 2010, I had started out in network marketing. And, I listened to my upline who said, go make a list of all your friends and family. Go pitch your doctor, the insurance agent, the mailman, the UPS guy. Anybody that's within 3 feet of you, you need to be talking about your opportunity and talking about those products. And for me, that was painful, because I'm not the type of person that likes to be chasing people down and feeling like I'm trying to get money out of them, or I want to buy something from, or I want them to buy from me. It was painful. So I jumped online and I said, there's got to be a better way. And I remember a guy had once told me or said this to someone else, and it made me think, yeah, that's me. They say, you know what? You go to the internet out of weakness. That's what he called people in network marketing that couldn't build it belly to belly. You just go to the internet out of weakness. And I said, you're damn right I did. I went to the internet out of weakness. I was not going to do what you were asking me to do. And so I went to the internet and, I had no money. Bill and I were living paycheck to paycheck. We were behind on our mortgage. We had to do one of those fancy, reconfiguration, not refinance, but something to move payments towards the end. And I remember our electricity had gotten cut off and my mom had to pay the electricity bill. It was embarrassing. We didn't even want our kids to know this. Because you want to provide for your kids an amazing lifestyle. I'm thinking, I didn't grow up wealthy. I didn't grow up with a lot of money, so I want to make sure my kids feel different. Even though we were struggling so bad, we didn't want them to know that. So we knew some things had to change. And I was reading an article today that had said, you've got to be fearless. You've got to want it bad, or you're not going to be able to overcome those obstacles and struggles. And I think for me, before Bill got into the industry, that was it. I had been told plenty of times this would never work. What are you doing? This isn't going to work, whatever you're doing. And I almost believed it and almost quit because I got so frustrated. I wanted to throw in the towel. I honestly felt there was some underground secret society where all the leaders that were successful held the key and they weren't letting me in. I seriously thought that, and I remember thinking, why aren't they letting me in? There's some secret, and I found out very quickly there is no secret. The secret is hard work. The secret is persistence. The secret is not giving up. I see that way, too often, where people just say, well, I ran out of money, so I stopped. I didn't know what else to do. You got to stop believing your own excuses. That's, one thing that I knew that I had to do. Stop believing my own excuses, because there were plenty of them, and there were plenty of them around the corner that I was going to be making. So any obstacle that came my way, I busted down that barrier and, made it through. And within a year later, Bill retired from his corporate America job, and here he is. We're working this business together. It's amazing.
Here I am. And, it's really, it's an honor, I guess. And it's an amazing thing for us to share with you tonight our formula for a seven-figure business because, personally for me, when I look back at the year of 2009, just one example of the struggle. In 2009, I was living in Dallas, and now Michelle and I were together. We weren't married yet, but we were pretty much together. And I had 3 friends that year from different parts of the country, a couple in New England, actually 4 friends, 2 in New England and 2 in other parts of the country, who happened to have weddings all in the year 2009. And money was so tight that I couldn't possibly afford to go to these 3 different weddings. I couldn't afford for the airfare, the hotel, just the expenses of when you're at a wedding for a weekend. And it really kind of sucked because I had to, 3 of those weddings I just couldn't go to. And maybe you have a similar situation like that. Maybe it's not friends' weddings, but the year 2009, I had to basically not go to 3 of my very good friends' weddings because I simply didn't have the money. I could not afford it. And I had to pick which one I could go to. So I had to put start prioritizing my friends, which is a very hard thing to do. But the worst thing about it is that for the 3 weddings I could not go to, I had to make up an excuse because, to the people, to the bride and groom, because I was too proud to say that I didn't have the money. I just couldn't stomach just admitting the truth to them. So I had to lie. I had to make something up, and it was probably a lame excuse, which probably made it even worse. And it stunk because not only could I not go to those weddings, but it kind of, it really impacted those friendships, in a negative way. And I regret that now, tremendously. And, looking back, again, to sit here where we are today, it doesn't come with our own set of setbacks and struggles, much like probably what you have been through yourself, or maybe some of you are even going through right now. And so, when Michelle started having some success with the home-based business industry, and she was doing well enough where I could quit my job and come home, I remember everyone, literally everyone, coworkers, friends, family members, they thought I was crazy. And they even said that. They're like, "You're crazy. Why are you doing this? You've got a decent sales job. You could make good money with your sales job. Why are you, quitting that? Why are you risking that to go and do this crazy, pipe dream of yours, thing? Like, you must be crazy." And that kind of started to sink in. And I was like, I am a little bit crazy. And I think that sometimes it takes being a little crazy, doing what we do, to do this. I think Michelle's a little crazy. I think I'm a little crazy. I know I'm a little crazy. Yeah. I think some of you on this call, a lot of you, there's probably a little bit of craziness in you as well. But right now I mean that in a good way, because you do have to be a little crazy to do what we do. You have to be a little crazy to have that dream and believe you can get it. And in this sense, crazy just means not the status quo, right? Not that just normal, let me go to school so I can get a good job so I can hopefully retire at 55. I'm talking about crazy enough to believe that you can buck the trend and live the dream, really. You absolutely live the dream. So we're sharing this with you because we just want you to know that, we've had our shares of ups and downs. We've had our set of struggles. And we don't want any of you to think that we're sitting here like high up in our castle, lofty, like, oh, look at us. We now have the 7-figure business. Let us all share with you our little people down there who don't have it yet. Like, trust me, we've been in the trenches. We've got, we have the bumps and bruises to prove it. We got, mud in our hands, dirt under our fingernails. We're rolling up our sleeves to get this done. And now we're fortunate enough to be able to share with you this formula to hopefully get you in the same direction, on the same path, so that you can somehow spread a similar type story with people that are watching you and following you. And we're going to dive into this here in a second, but when you start implementing what we're going to teach you tonight, you will then have fans and you will have followers and you will have an audience, if you do what we tell you, that you can share your same story that we kind of just shared with you now. So, buckle up.
Yeah, and you won't have to. I just saw a question in there. If I didn't talk to the mailman and the post or the UPS guy, who did I talk to? Well, that's the beauty of it. I went to the internet and I practiced attraction marketing. And this formula we're going to show you tonight is the formula that's going to help you guys start attracting people to you, so they want to buy from you. They want to know more about your business. We don't have to go out there and chase people or prospect people at this point. They come, unless they're calling, obviously Bill will talk to them, but I mean, they come to us, they're knocking on our door. So that was the big shift in our business. So we're going to talk to you tonight about how we went, from making those few $100s to over $100,000 a month. And just want to show you, a few numbers here. This was our very first paycheck. This was inside of a system called My Lead System Pro. I think it was in November of 2010. $318. Yep. Woohoo! We went and celebrated, didn't we?
I think we did.
But $318, that's where it all started. And now, we're looking at where we are now. Those are, a 2-week pay period there. $17,000 one week, $12,000 another.
No, that's bi-monthly. That's
every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So that's 1 month.
Yeah,
from commissions from My Lead System Pro.
This was a company that, we're a part of. These were actual affiliate commissions for winning a contest. This was one of our payments for the 2 weeks in that company for $67,000. Another one for winning an affiliate contest within that program. And then another commission payout. You can see the dates there. It's 30 days worth. And, basically it totals over $126,000. Now, do we show that to you to brag? No, I show that to you to show what's possible. That, when I saw those kind of numbers in other people's business, I was like, oh my God, I could not imagine getting a $67,000 payday. There's no way that's going to happen to me. And then I had to lose that mindset very quickly and realize that it is possible. And we're going to talk about that tonight. We're going to talk about really cool shifts we made in our business towards the end that I think will really help you. It's one of my favorite part of this presentation that Bill does that's going to really help you understand how much your time is worth. And maybe are you wasting, some of that time that you should actually be outsourcing or spending it elsewhere. So that's my favorite part. So let's talk about that 7-step formula. And then I'm going to go into more detail with it. So this is kind of a recap page or an intro page. So it starts with the Facebook page. All of you here know we're Facebook marketers. You got to have a Facebook page. Then we're going to talk about the content because this is what makes this entire formula work. It makes the wheels turn on it. You got to produce content on it. We're going to go into that tonight. And we're going to talk about forming communities and the kind of communities you should have on your page and that you should form within groups. Then we're going to talk about Facebook ads. A lot of people are scared away by Facebook ads. I know our buddy Scott's on here, and he's taken one of our courses, and he's doing amazing, him and his wife, on Facebook. They're doing a great job, and they were always scared of Facebook because they thought it was too complicated and hard. And once we showed him, he was like, wow, that was all? That was it?
Yeah,
and
he's laughing now because he's like, I thought it was so hard this whole time. And now after learning from you guys, I realized this isn't that hard at all.
And he seriously just duplicated exactly what we do and told him this is exactly how to do it, and he did it. So Facebook ads, you got to do it. We're in the day and age of where Facebook is Facebook ads. You got to do it. You really do. Email follow-up is huge. I see a lot of people's funnels all the time. Guys and gals that work with us are like, I'm getting leads, but I'm not making sales. And it ultimately comes down to the follow-up. So we're going to talk about that. And then we're going to talk about that phone follow-up. Now, I don't really do the phone, but some of you, and Bill's going to explain that, why you should be still using the phone if you're at a certain income level. It's only going to boost your business more. I bet if I did get on the phone, we could probably boost our business even more, but,
You'd have to actually answer your phone
yes,
for that to happen.
Yes, that's right. but no, some of us are working towards not having to use the phone, and that was one of the things that I was working towards. I don't want to use the phone. I want to sit behind a computer and make the magic happen. So phone follow-up may be really exciting for you, for those of you that love the phone. And so you're gonna resonate with each one of these little topics in a different way, but you've got to use them all. And then we're going to talk about scaling. You've got to scale your business. And I just want to make sure that everybody's seeing my screen, since we're on a new computer, that you can see my screen changing. I guess so, because I don't see any comments telling me you can't. Okay. All right. Oh, we got to go through the bouncy again. Oh, good. Okay. So Facebook page formula. This is my favorite part. Well, no, the Facebook ads is. But it starts with a passion and a message. I think a lot of people miss this, okay? So let me give you an example. I love using this example. I hope you don't mind me using it.
No, it's cool.
So our daughter, you might have seen messages on Facebook. She's 16 years old, and she has a vegan fan page. Now, why did she start that page? Well, she became vegan in the beginning of August, and she was so freaking passionate about being vegan, spreading the message, and, educating people on how, this is, by the way, if any of you, hopefully none of you are offended by this. I'm not trying to sell it. I'm just giving you an example, so stick with me. But she wants to.
The meat eaters can still stay on the webinar. Don't worry about that.
She's very much an advocate and wants to share the message on how these factory farms are bad for our environment and just people's health. And I mean, just her message is huge. Okay. And if she were in here, she could share a lot more than I can, but she has a passion. Okay. She has a message. So with your fan page, the first thing that you have to do is you've got to determine what is your passion. How are you going to change people's lives? All right. And then you craft your message. So for her, everything on her page is based around educating people on going veganism, okay? Educating them. And she's got over 16,000 fans in a little under 2 months that are so loyal to her that when somebody attacks her on her page, which they do, the meat eaters come over there and they're really mean to this little 16-year-old. They drop a couple of F-bombs on her. Mama gets a little upset about that. But you get her fans in there, and man, they take up for her, and they support her. And that's the kind of movement you want to create on your page. Now, that's going to be a little bit different, I understand, because that's veganism, or it's a very controversial sometimes subject. So for us, most of us are internet marketers, or most of us here, some of you are network marketers. So if you're in a company, what does your company's products solve as a problem or a pain in your audience? Is it helping people lose weight? Is it helping people just live a healthier lifestyle? Is it helping people live natural or take natural products because your message is a lot of these toxins we put in our body are bad? Is it to help them travel the world or live time freedom? Is it to help them just build a business online? Is it to help them be a better affiliate marketer? You've got to know what that is very early on, okay? So what is your passion? So Bill and I, our passion is helping people build a successful business online using social media or using Facebook. And then, of course, it goes a little bit beyond that. But our main message is helping people, all right? Now, if we were just there for the money, there would be no passion. You have to have the passion. When I look at people's fan pages and they have me analyze their page, I can see within minutes whether a person has passion or are they in it for the money. And that's a huge difference, because when you're in it for the money, you're going to fail on Facebook, okay? So I'm asking you to really start thinking about your passion. Do you really want to help people because of your product? If your product is not getting you excited or passionate, then you might want to consider finding something you're passionate about. That's the only way really your fan page is going to work, because people can read through the people who are just there for the money. You guys know this. There's pages out there where all you see is them pitching a product, the next JV Zoo product, right and left. You know that. And sure, they probably have their followers, but you're probably not. You guys are here because you want to learn how to build a successful business online using Facebook. So know what that is and understand what your message is. That is so important to identify that on your page. And then the next thing is to get that page set up. You want to have a really good cover photo, all right? Get a professional photo. Take some time to do that, because first impressions mean a lot. Anytime I go to somebody's fan page and it stands out and they got a professional cover photo with maybe some contact information or maybe a little tagline about what they represent, I know immediately what that fan page is about, and it means the difference of keeping me there or leaving, okay? There's a lot of competition on Facebook within our niche, so you got to stand out. So take it to another level, all right? Think beyond the crowd, all right? Step up and get a cover photo that's professional. Do a professional image too. Fill out your About Me section on your fan page. That's so important also. You'd be surprised how many people click that About Me section to go check out what someone's about. I do it all the time, and there's nothing worse than seeing a blank About Me section and going, how do I go to this person's blog? Does this person represent any kind of company? What is this person about? Where's their bio? What do they do? Why am I on this page? All right. So those are the three things you need to make sure are done on your page. Set it up professionally right out the gate. And then don't worry about an offer on your page. You know, in the past, there were those, they called them landing tabs back then, or application tabs. Don't bog down on that. I don't use them. I don't think you use them either on your page. They're
Nope.
there only because we did it when it mattered, okay? We did that page, you know, we had our fan page up when those application tabs mattered. We don't even drive traffic to those anymore. So don't worry about those offers in those application tabs if it's something that's bogging you down. If it's something you can do really quickly and get one up, absolutely do it. But my recommendation on that is to use that to build your list, okay? And we're going to get into that in a little bit because your fan page needs to really be about you building a community, not pitching your products or opportunity, all right? And I'll talk about that a little more when we get into the content. In fact, here we are. Hang on one second. Let me check something here because you're going to do some content, right?
Yep.
Okay, good. All right. So as we dive into that content, I'm going to let Bill talk about that. But let me just say right now that, because I don't know if we have this in this slide, it is about building a community on your fan page. Just remember that. And 90% of your content, or 80 to 90% on your page of content should be value driven. Okay. Wow, that just popped out. Uh-oh.
Yikes. Just hit cancel.
I can't. It's not letting me hit anything.
Oh, it's hit to escape. Hit cancel. That happens sometimes.
Okay.
Put that thing back. And now.
Okay. Sorry about that. So 80 to 90% needs to be value, okay? And we're going to give you some ideas here, right here as we go through it. And then 10 to 20% should be pitching a link.
So in regards to content, we've got a content formula as well, which for us revolves around blog posts, videos, text status updates. Now, that does not mean text message. That means a status update on Facebook that is text-oriented, just so you know. Obviously, images, thought-provoking questions, articles, tips and strategies, value. Now, whoops. So for us, how it works, sorry about that. So we have blogs. I wouldn't really consider us bloggers. Mm-mm. I mean, I think to consider ourselves bloggers would be an insult to real bloggers out there who use blogging as their main strategy. But we, of course, have a blog. A blog is definitely a good conduit for your content, right? Because we can do a content, for example, a video on YouTube, and then that video will be turned into a blog post, and then that blog post will be updated will be put as a status update on our Facebook fan page. So I look at our Facebook fan pages for us as the main stable, really, as the main hub for all of our content. But it can come from different places, and it can be syndicated out to other places too. Because to have a blog as well as a fan page and to have a YouTube channel as well is definitely a good thing to do. Now, don't get confused by this. You know, when people say, and we even said oftentimes, you really need to stick with one marketing method. All right. Just because I'm shooting a video and uploading it onto my YouTube channel does not mean that I'm all of a sudden now a YouTube marketer, right? And now I'm a Facebook marketer and a YouTube marketer and a blogger, and I'm all three of those in one. I'm not. We're not. You know, we definitely started with Facebook. Now, once we were able to master Facebook, we can then add another arrow into our quiver, right? So we figured out Facebook. We're good to go. We had it up and running, really no more questions. And that's when we started exploring video, right? Video is very powerful. And for those of you who aren't doing any videos yet, I strongly recommend that you start. You might be afraid of the camera. You might not know what to say. We'll cover that later and get into that later, right? But video is a very powerful way to establish and build the know, like, and trust factor. All right, the know, like, and trust factor is what's going to get people to know you, like you, trust you. And why do you want that? Because that's going to have them partner with you or buy from you, right? In the absence of someone knowing, liking, and trusting you, they will not buy from you. They will not partner with you, right? And you might do a great job of making them aware of your product or aware of your company. But if they don't know you, like you, trust you, what happens is you will make them aware of your company or your product, and they'll say, oh, hey, cool, thanks for making aware of it. Let me now go out and Google it and find someone that I know, like, and trust that I want to buy from or work with. So in the absence of this know, like, trust factor, all you'll be doing if you are promoting something, you'll just be making people aware of it, and then they go out and look for someone else.
Well, let me add to that real quick. You also have to understand, I think we lose sight of this as marketers because we're so engrossed in marketing that ask yourself, I mean, really, if you're going to get up in the morning to go buy something online, are you going to go to Facebook to buy it? If you want to buy a book, are you going to go to Facebook to buy it? Or
no.
if you're going to buy a course, are you going to go to Facebook to buy it?
Yeah.
You're not going to do that, and nobody else does that either. So that's really a huge shift you need to make in your mindset if you're not already at that area, or if you haven't already done that, is you've got to build that community, like he's saying, the like, know, and trust. And then as you build that community, people will know to buy from you.
Exactly. Now, and that's because Facebook, because it's social media, right? It's very socially oriented and it's relationship oriented. So we're not saying people don't wake up to buy from Facebook and to make you think, oh, well, crap, why do I want to do Facebook then, right? That's not at all what we're saying. You have to use Facebook because only 1 billion people on Earth are on Facebook right now. And if you're not on Facebook and if you're not marketing on Facebook, you're missing out and you're losing out to your competition. So building and using this formula that we're going to continue to share with you is crucial, and Facebook is an essential element of that, right? But again, the mindset, people don't wake up in the morning and say, let me go to Facebook to buy a new pair of boots. They don't do that. They go to Amazon or LL Bean or whatever. Right? But when you build that relationship and you have that legion of loyal fans who are following you, you can promote anything and you will have people eating out of the palm of your hand because they know you, they like you, then they trust you. And so we're using the blog posts, we're using videos, uploading them to our blog. We're then taking that blog content and putting it on our fan page because it's increasing the know, like, and trust factor. Does that make sense? I just want to make sure that you're all kind of getting that the strategy as to why we're combining those 3 things. And if you don't have a blog yet, don't worry about it. Start with videos and start with Facebook and videos and taking those YouTube videos and uploading them as content onto your Facebook fan page, right? Because the Facebook fan page will be the hub. All right. The next thing is the text status updates. So text status updates just means that it's like you wrote on your computer, you actually typed a status update. So with this, what we're doing is we're providing values, maybe a tip of the day or leadership tip of the day or some mindset content, things like that. You can also make people aware of things that are going on. We were using text status updates to promote this webinar on Facebook. And a lot of you are here, I'm sure, because you saw us promoting on our fan pages and in different groups about this webinar tonight, and that's why you're here. So proof that that works is just that fact alone. Now, however, to only do text status updates over and over again can get a little monotonous or can get a little boring. You want to vary it up a little bit, right? And you do that with images. So if you were to, after this webinar is over, not now, but go to my fan page, Bill Pescosolido fanpage.com. Go to Michelle's fan page. Is that what it is? No. Facebook
Facebook.com/Bill Pescosolido fan page. Wow.
Proof that you don't have to be a technical whiz to do this. All right, say it again. What's my fan page?
Facebook.com/Bill Pescosolido fan page.
Okay, y'all got that? Okay.
And I will say this, a lot of these different content pieces that Bill's talking about, test them and see what gets you a bigger reach. Like for us, just the plain old status updates with no image or videos or links, they get us more reach than any of the other things we're talking about here. So just pay attention to that kind of stuff. Yeah,
but the images tend to get more engagement.
If you use it the right way, and which we're going to show you how in a little bit.
Right. So images would be, the inspirational quote with an image, like the eagle soaring through the air, and the inspirational quote that says if you want to soar with the eagles, don't hang out with the turkeys or whatever. Like that stuff is great. All right, that stuff is great. But anyone can do that. So step your game up a little bit with that image and that inspirational quote. Maybe you would wrap a little story around that, why that is important to you. So you'll write in the text, right? You'll say, the reason why this is so important to me is because, 4 years ago or back in 2009, I couldn't even afford to go to any of my friends' weddings and it was really hard to do. And so after I made the shift and the switch, and now things are different for me, blah, blah, blah. And it's thanks to quotes like this. And that's why this quote matters, right? So I know I just kind of chopped that up, but wrap a real instance that's important to you, a real story. It doesn't have to be a big, long story, but something other than just simply slapping the image up there. Now, sometimes, just for time's sake, slap the image up there, hit post, and you're on the run, right? But other times, put more thought into it, right? Step your game up a little bit and stand out from all the other people who are just only slapping the image with the eagle soaring or the Pegasus flying through the rainbow or whatever that stuff is. Now, the next thing you want to do is thought-provoking questions, because that's going to get engagement, right? And I'm not talking about a question like, hey, everyone, I went to Neiman Marcus today. Check out my new shoes. What do you think? Right? Now, maybe guys like Terry Lamb and Scott Smith would post something like that because they're always buying new shoes at Neiman Marcus. But for the rest of us professional entrepreneurs, right, we're not going to...
Wait, they could totally call you out right now.
All right. So I'm messing with those guys because they're friends of ours. But thought-provoking questions, right? Like real thought-provoking stuff that's going to be maybe somewhat controversial, right? Maybe something that's slightly antagonistic, right? Not in a bad way, but something that's really going to get people thinking. Maybe something about the space that you're in, like whatever your particular niche is, whether it's food or whether it's energy drinks or whether it's weight loss or whether it's natural living or whether it's internet marketing or a specific niche within internet marketing. Put something there that's really going to get people thinking that they'll then want to respond, and it'll get a thread going and get conversation going and dialogue going, and that will help to increase the engagement on your fan page.
That reminds me of that time you posted something on your Facebook fan page. He took the route of, I don't even know what it was. I mean, I'm going to use an example here, but it's kind of a sad subject here, but like the Ebola crisis. And the nurse that just caught the Ebola from the guy that died got a blood transfusion from the surviving Ebola guy. And I asked Bill today, why didn't they give it to the guy that just died? Why didn't he get a blood transfusion? So that's kind of a controversial question. And we have our own opinions of it, but you could go out, and you did this once with something where you go and you ask the question, like, what do you think about the lady that got the blood transfusion from the Ebola survivor, and then Eric Duncan didn't get it?
Right.
So you're not inserting your opinion, but boy, you can start up some controversy in that thread, and before you know it, your thread is taken off. And you want that. Like, you want a lot of engagement on your status updates, because the more engagement, the more reach you're going to get. And
to touch on that, what I asked, we both actually asked this specifically very recently, is if the government came out with an Ebola
vaccine.
If the U.S. government came out with an Ebola vaccine, would you take it? Right. Now, we didn't stick our neck out there and provide like a stance or whatever, but we threw that question out there and let everyone else battle back and forth. Right. So that's a good way. That's a good thought-provoking question. And now we're not saying, okay, just go current events and the most, spark plug news thing going right now, or it's going to create a, you can also do it within your niche, your industry. Right. So again, if it has something to do with your product, maybe there's a little bit of controversy around the product that you represent. Who knows? Throw it out there. Or if it's a lifestyle thing, throw it out there. The point is, get a little controversial and ask thought-provoking questions.
And don't be afraid, to be yourself in your status updates. Like, it doesn't have to all be work-related. You'll see things on our status updates that's our voice, what's happening in our life. We're sharing lifestyle, and it's very much who we are. I know a lot of you on this webinar that you have great personalities, and some of you have controversial ones, Terry. And I don't know if you heard that. But so he could go out there and state something, and man, he could stir up a whole lot of people and start interacting with him. And so don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to be who you are.
So moving forward, articles. Now, articles would be articles that you didn't write yourself, but that you went out and found and put them on your fan page. So something from again, if you're health oriented, you went out to the New England Journal of Medicine and found something that has to do with your niche, right? Or you went out to Huffington Post and found something that has to do with your niche, or Time Magazine or Newsweek.com or whatever. You're going elsewhere, right, to find articles that pertain to your niche, whatever you're trying to convey on your fan page. So obviously, and you're not obviously taking credit for it, you're clearly crediting the source, right? It's coming from Huffington Post, right? But what's going to happen here is that people will then come to look at your fan page as sort of a conduit for information in general, right? So they can say, okay, not only do I go to Bill's fan page because of his own personal content and his inspirational, Pegasus flying through rainbows pictures and, don't soar with the eagles and fly with the monkeys instead, kind of images and stuff like that, but also he takes really cool articles about stuff that I'm interested that has to do with what he's talking about, and he puts them on there. So I just have to go to Bill's fan page, and I can get everything right there. Mm-hmm. It's like your fan page becomes a newsstand all of a sudden, and that's going to get people there and keep them there, which is ultimately what you want. Now, tips and strategies, this is going to have to do with, and most likely with marketing, right? Or with something very niche to what you're trying to convey. For us, our fan pages are about helping, network marketers, internet marketers, affiliate marketers, build their business. We have a very entrepreneurial, help you build your business kind of orientation to our fan pages. So for us, tips and strategies are going to be just that. It's going to be a lot of original content that we create, or just ideas. It can be like a little snippet, thought for the day, mindset Monday, things like that. But you're coming up with these tips and strategies that you will provide to your audience, which will be fairly niche oriented based upon whatever you're doing. All right. And finally, obviously, value, value, value. Your fan page, you cannot be a pitch fest, right? As Michelle mentioned earlier, we live by a ratio of roughly 9-to-1 ratio of value to an offer, right? That means for everyone, if there's 100 posts on our thing, 90 of them will be value, 10 of them will be an offer. Right? The worst thing you can do is be just a billboard for pitching stuff, because people are going to look at you as a one-trick pony. They're going to say, oh my gosh, I go to Bill's page and all he's doing is just like pitching. Why would I want to,
They won't come back.
Yeah, why do I want to? They won't come back, right? Why do I want to come here? He's a one-trick pony. All he's doing is pitching his latest energy drink, and that's all this fan page is about. That's transparent, that's not effective, and that's not going to get a loyal legion of fans, right? So make sure that you put value first and that you're not leading with the dollar, right? Lead with value, lead with helping people, not lead with dollar signs in your eyes.
And you want to become, like, if you want to write anything down, write this. I want to become the go-to person for XYZ. We are the go-to person, or, Facebook prospecting, helping people. I know Bill has more of prospecting and closing and working with people on Facebook, and then I do the more Facebook, but it's very much, you want to be that go-to person. So focus on that. Be that go-to person, and be the person, do you agree? I mean, do you go to certain fan pages? Like, there's certain fan pages I will go to just because I know there will be good content on it. Mm-hmm. They'll give me ideas on what I can post. Mm-hmm. So I hope that makes sense. So for the content. So let's talk about the third piece of the formula that we have created, and that's a community formula.
Yeah, so it starts with Facebook community groups, all right? Basically, Facebook groups. For whatever you are in, meaning you're in a system like My Lead System Pro, or you have your network marketing company, or you're an affiliate of this, and you've got a group where you're bringing on partners, or you're bringing on distributors, or you're bringing on customers. Create a Facebook group for your partners, your distributors, your affiliates, your customers, like whatever they are. Right? Create that community group, be the admin of that group, and really be the person that kind of drives that group. You're not only the admin as far as you can add people in and delete people, but you're really going to be the one that's maintaining and monitoring and posting within that group as well. You want to obviously welcome new members into your group. In this day and age of internet marketing, right? Back in the day, if we were all just like, it was 1982 and we were all just like, MLM network marketers, we'd be doing home meetings and we'd be meeting at hotels and we'd be showing up at convention and we'd all like be belly to belly, right? There'd be that warm, touchy-feely, belly to belly element. Well, in the day and the age of the internet, where we're able to cast a much wider net, which is phenomenal, you lose a little of that belly to belly warm and fuzzy element. So we create that, or we recreate that within the group. And welcoming new people in the group, making them feel awesome and all warm and fuzzy, makes them feel that they're part of something. It helps validate their decision to join you in whatever it is you're doing. And it makes them feel like they're not out there on an island by themselves. All right? So welcoming new people in, making them feel good, giving them that warm and fuzzy is a crucial element to building that community.
And that also helps the retention, of your team by keeping them, by interacting with them in a group.
Recognition and congratulate them. Some people are solely motivated by money, and that's fine. However, some people are not actually wired to be motivated by money. They're actually motivated by recognition. They're motivated by being put up on a stage and saying this person did a great job, or they're motivated by the leader or you, the admin, and the person who's that runs the group, to recognize them for even something little, right? Maybe they rank advanced. Maybe they got positioned at a new level. Maybe they brought in their own first person for the first time, like they got their own distributor in. Recognize and congratulate the crap out of them, right? Because I'm telling you, people are wired differently. Some people, they might be like, hey, cool, thanks, right? Others, that might be the main motivating factor, is just to be recognized and congratulated for doing a good job. So if you're not already doing that, you need to start, because you're missing out on a great way to further build that community and increase the longevity and the retention of your members. Lead by example. This one should be obvious, but a lot of times what we will do is we'll for one of our groups, for our team, we'll do for ourselves a marketing video, right? Just for our own, just solely our own business marketing purposes. But then we'll put that video in the group and say, hey gang, just so you know, here's an idea. All right, this thing again. Using the same problem.
Keep talking.
We'll put the video in there and say, hey gang, here's a video I just did the other day for my own marketing. Feel free to use this as for ideas or to help you with your own videos that you're doing or whatever, right? So you're basically leading by example. You're showing them, hey, look, I'm building my business. I'm doing this. I am creating videos. I am marketing. I am bringing in new people, and so you're leading by example, right? The best thing that you can do. Moving on, motivate and inspire. There's different companies or businesses you might be in. Some might be, very heavily oriented around motivation and inspiring people, right? It might be very, very much a team, bonding type atmosphere. And to motivate people and inspire them, could be the thing that just keeps them hanging on. Some people, they get into a thing and they're kind of in, they're kind of there, they're kind of dangling their toes in. And if you can motivate and inspire these people, you might be literally that last thread that just keeps them hanging on and keeps them hanging around the flagpole and gets them to show up at convention and gets them to show up for those meetings. And you never know, right? Someone might be literally on the brink of just, throwing in the towel. And your motivation and your inspiration could be that last little sliver that keeps them on board, and then something might happen great for them. They get their first distributor, or they get their first buyer, and it just sets them off. And it was thanks to you, because they had one foot out the door, but your motivational techniques, your inspirational things that you were doing is what kept them in and hanging on. Finally, share ideas, tips, and strategies. Be completely transparent. We're always sharing, like, look, this is what we're doing. Hey, we just tried this thing the other day and it worked. Hey gang, here's this strategy. If you haven't tried this yet, try doing this. Sharing ideas, tips, and strategies not only is good because it's giving them ideas, tips, and strategies, but it's showing your people that you care, that you're invested in their success, that you want it for them as well, that you're not just looking to hook them in and then leave them high and dry. Right? So by sharing these ideas, tips, and strategies, it can help on several different levels and really help to foster that community feel, that community environment. And again, that will help to create that loyal legion of fans and people that are going to want to go to battle for you and with you. Cool. So let's talk about now Facebook ads formula. Should we check in? How's everyone doing?
Yeah. How are we doing, everybody? Let's just check.
We're gonna do questions at the end, so you don't need to ask. We're not gonna answer questions right now, but just let's, by show of hands, does this make sense? How are you guys liking this so far? Is this helpful so far? Raise your hand if you find this helpful. If you like it.
Good.
All right. Cool.
Good. Okay. So really, what we've talked about setting up that fan page and the content. Now, how do we get that content out there? The very first thing that you need to do with a Facebook page is run a likes ad. You need to always be running a likes ad, because what you want to do is build up a big community on your fan page, so then you don't have to do any guessing when it comes to creating other kinds of ads, like a clicks to website ad that drives to your offer, or if you create a page post engagement ad that's maybe promoting a webinar like we did here, or maybe it's promoting a video that you've done and it's going to maybe your offer after the video. So you've got to build up that community. So the quickest way to do that is with a likes ad. So this is the very first thing everybody should have implemented on their fan page. Okay, create that likes ad. Spend, a good, healthy budget is $25 a day. Minimum, I would say, is $10 a day, okay? If you've got to go less than that, you just need to manage your expectations and know that if you're spending $5 a day, you might only get 5 likes a day. It's going to take a lot longer to build your business. There's nothing wrong with that. I started with $1 a day when I started on Facebook. That's all I had. Okay, so don't beat yourself up if you hear me say, oh, you need to spend $25 a day, and you're thinking, I don't have that. I didn't have much either when I started, and so basically my process is how do I get up to $5 a day? How do I get up to $10 a day? What can I cut out of my life right now that I don't necessarily need that would put $10 into my wallet a day that I could actually take now and put towards Facebook advertising? So that's the kind of thought process I went through. Entrepreneurs need to be very resourceful. When they are presented with a problem, it's not necessarily a problem. It's like, okay, let me figure out how to get around this. You've got to really have that kind of mindset and know how do you get around your obstacles. It's not a problem. We can do it. So a likes ad, run it. Get yourself likes. This is one of the things we do. We spend about $100 a day. Because we have found that it is so much more profitable to just build up. I've got over 60,000 fans right now, and all we do is target our fans and ads. No guesswork in trying to create a perfect audience. You see a lot of people getting shut down on Facebook right now because they're creating maybe a page post engagement ad, which I'm going to talk about here, or they've created a clicks to website ad that's driving straight to their offer. And then they're going out and targeting business people, all right? They're not thinking smart about their audience. Who do they need to target with their ads? If you're going to go out there and target all the people in business, a high risk of about 90% of those people that are interested in business have no interest in whatever it is you're offering. So it can be tricky. And then I see people go out there, let me go target all the people that like Tony Robbins, which would make sense. Most of us in our industry like Tony Robbins. But again, you run the risk of people now marking your ad as spam, complaining about your ad, because they don't know who you are. So this is one of the benefits of you getting a lot of likes to your ad, because all you're going to do now is target your fans. That's all we do to this point now. I've seen a lot of people lately get shut down because they're just out there targeting, throwing mud up against the wall to see if it sticks, and they're getting shut down, and they don't know why, and it's probably because their ads got reported. It showed up in the newsfeed of the people they were targeting, and they were like, why is this in my newsfeed? This is ridiculous. Let me report this ad. So page post engagement ads. You need to run a likes ad. The second ad that you always want to be running on your fan page is a page post engagement ad. So what does that mean exactly? You need to create a status update. So for example, we would create a status update that's maybe talking about a recent video that we've done, or a recent blog post that we've done, or maybe talk about this webinar that we've got coming up, and we would provide a link. Now these are the kind of ads that we would run, a page post engagement ad to that type of status update, because that would ultimately lead to either a sale or a webinar, somebody registering for this webinar, or a lead, all right? So if you're driving traffic to a blog post you wrote and you're running a page post engagement ad on that, hopefully people will find places to opt in on your blog. You want to get people on your list also. Your fan page is like your list, all right? It's pretty powerful. But you also want to, maybe in your video, you created a video, you created this ad, and you're talking in this video about mindset or something, and at the end you have a call to action to click on a link to get more information about your offer. You would want to create a status update around that, run a page post engagement ad to it. So we always have one of those running. This is very important. Another one that you can do is a video ad. I briefly just talked about that. You can upload a video straight to Facebook in your status update We have one running right now that talks about why we quit MLM and what we decided to do now. And, we talked about the pains of being an MLM. Bill goes into more detail about that. And we talk about the, what we decided to do. So we have that video uploaded in our status update, and we have an ad running to that targeting our fans, okay? Clicks to website ad, we always have one of these running too. So basically we have 3 ads, a likes ad, a page post engagement ad, then a clicks to website. A clicks to website ad is actually an ad that goes outside of Facebook. If you're on a tight budget, I don't recommend this because these are definitely more expensive. You're going to pay, sometimes you can pay over $1, $2, I've seen $3 clicks. All right, so this is you taking your offer that's outside of Facebook. Maybe you have a website that's got an opt-in form on it. It's offering a free report or a free video or a free webinar or a free ebook, and you're driving traffic straight to that, but you're targeting your fans, obviously. And they go outside of Facebook, and then hopefully you can generate a lead or make a sale. Again, these are more expensive. Also, I have found that running ads in the desktop of a newsfeed is more expensive. So I like to run like a likes ad in the mobile newsfeed. So I throw $100 a day on a likes ad that runs only in a mobile device's newsfeed. So if you're on your mobile device, you're scrolling through Facebook, you might see our ad, and it's easy to click like on your mobile phone. It's a lot cheaper. But again, it's something you would need to test. Then if you want to get more advanced, which I don't recommend, if this right here is a little foreign to you, and don't worry because towards the end we're going to be able to help you out with that. But retargeting is definitely more advanced, and all that simply means is if somebody comes to one of my websites and they didn't take action, I could go back and retarget them in another Facebook ad and say something that's speaking to those people that didn't take action. So that's basically the ads that you need to be running. Now, notice if you've ever been in your ad manager, there are a lot more options back there. This is really all you need to be doing. At the minimum, a likes ad and a page post engagement ad that's going to be able to generate you leads or generate you sales or whatever your goal is, some sort of money-making activity. Third, you would want to do a video ad. Fourth, you'd want to do a clicks to website ad, okay? So that's pretty much the formula for that. Now let's talk about the email follow-up. Once you've started capturing leads through your Facebook ads, this is where the money comes in oftentimes, all right? Most people think the money comes in on Facebook. That's you building up that community, that know, like, trust factor, all right? Now when they're on their email list and you email them daily, they're going to probably be more inclined to interact with you or to click on your links because they know who you are. They are part of your community on Facebook. So email your list daily. This is something we do. Now, there are times where I skip a day or something, but we are not afraid to email the list daily. If you've got if you're doing this formula right, you've got a good flow of leads coming in, and you do get unsubscribes. We get 20 or 30 a day. But our lead flow is way higher than that, so it's always moving in the positive direction. Email your list daily, because if you email them once a month or once every 6 months, you're going to freak them out when they get this strange email from some strange person because they're not familiar with you, and they're going to get mad, unsubscribe, and mark you as spam. So what we do is we email our list daily. We email them value. Some of the things that we will send them are testimonials. So if we want to recruit more people into our business, we're going to share testimonials, not necessarily from us, but from other people in our business that are having success. Especially if it's someone like in our business that's 87 years old and makes $1,000 while at dinner. That's an amazing testimonial. And so we will share that to our list if we're trying to get people to opt into our business opportunity. All right, so share those testimonials around your business. Share your lifestyle. That is so important. If you go to events in your company, take a lot of pictures, especially if you go to exotic locations. We go to a lot of beach locations. Share the lifestyle. Talk about those experiences that you're having at those events. You can always wrap business around a story. I know Bill one time in the most recent, where were we? Jamaica? No, we never been Jamaica.
Oh, yeah.
Bahamas? Mexico. Where'd you do that flyboarding thing?
Mexico.
So he got very frustrated. Because what is that thing called? Flyboarding?
It's called flyboarding or jet boarding
stick
or
these
whatever.
jets underneath your feet, and there's a couple of these guys on here that were successful at it.
Yeah.
But so Bill was very frustrated because he kept falling, and he had this like man in his ear talking to him, telling him how to do it, and he was able to wrap a story around that and share that in a blog post or in an email about how that's very similar to business. Like, you need a coach, you need someone there to guide you and help you get to the next level. So pay attention to the things in your life right now, and always think, how can I relate this to business? All right, and write them down. I mean, I know that I'll think of that and I won't write them down, and then I'll forget them. I know 4 o'clock in the mornings when my best ideas come, and I'm like, oh, that's going to be amazing, and then I don't write it down and I forget about it when I wake up. So share lifestyle, just giving you some ideas. I know a lot of people get stumped on email follow-up. Share videos, another great thing. If you're out somewhere, share videos. If you're at an event, go interview some other leaders. If you want to talk about mindset, go read a book and then share the value that you found in that video, and always have call to actions in your email follow-up, okay? Encourage interaction. Talk to your audience in your emails. Tell them to reach out to you. Tell them you care about them. Tell them you want to help them live a healthy lifestyle, or you want to help them get to financial freedom, or have time freedom, or help them travel the world, whatever your niche is. Be real and let them know that they can contact you. And by all means, as I mentioned throughout this, have calls to action. Don't just share those testimonials without having a way for people to learn more about your business opportunity. If you're living an amazing lifestyle on a beach location at an event, give a call to action for them to find out more about how they too can do that. All right, so I hope that makes sense. And again, it's all about value. Keep sharing the value in the emails. My recommendation to a lot of you on here is get on about 2 or 3 of your favorite people, leaders that are doing it right, and see what they're doing. One of the things I did early on and with my mentor is I was on his list, and I would get his emails daily. I would really analyze it. I was just one of those people that would really try to figure out, where is he getting at with this email? If he had a story wrapped around it, I would find my own story, and I would wrap it around the way he did it to where it led to our business opportunity. So that's a great way to model some people that are doing really well with emails, is just copy what they're doing. I don't mean word for word, but put it into your own story and then send it out to your list.
There's a few ladies that are working with us right now that I opted into their, I subscribe to their emails. And I see now their emails are coming because I'm in their follow-up sequence now. And I'm looking at these emails, and I'm like, gosh, they're kind of doing exactly what we do. And then I'm like, awesome. There was a split second where I was like, oh, they're copying us. And I was like, no, they're not. They're duplicating. They're doing the right thing. They're watching what we're doing, and they're basically mimicking that. And like Michelle said, not word for word, not plagiarizing. They're doing their own story. It's their voice, not our voice. But they've got the tone, they've got the idea, they've got the message, they understand the sequence of what we're doing with our email follow-up, and they're doing pretty much the exact same thing. And I have to actually commend them because it's clearly working for us, and they're now doing it as well. So you can actually keep that open.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I want to check in with people.
Okay. We look good. Nobody's really saying anything.
Well, I know. But so let's just take a quick second here. So Michelle just went through a lot of stuff. She did the Facebook ads and the email follow-up. Did that kind of blow your minds, or did that make sense to you? I guess raise your hand if that was helpful and made sense. Cool. Julie. Okay. Joe, Jose. Nice. Jennifer. Jan. I'm obviously in the J section. Jan. Gary. Okay. Ernest. Hey, Ernie. What's up? Hey, Avilio's there too. Awesome. Okay. So... okay, I'm going to lower your hands now. So definitely a good chunk of you liked it, it made sense, you got value. Now, I lowered all your hands. Raise your hand right now if she just confused the crap out of you. And I'm being honest. If that was over your head or confused you or kind of exploded your brain, or if that was like, oh my gosh, I'm lost, raise your hands. And don't be bashful. We're not going to call you out. Okay, not many, but a couple, definitely a handful. Get it?
Haha.
Okay, so Well, that's cool. And they'll be, trust me, if this is your first time seeing all this stuff, it takes more than once for it to sink in. So, we're going to have something cool at the end to hopefully help you out if you want to, learn more and really iron this out for you and your business.
So if you get those people to pick up the phone or make an appointment with you, here we go.
Yeah, so the other part of our formula to get to 7 figures was not only email follow-up, but phone follow-up. And there might be some of you who are like, ooh, the phone, like I'm afraid of the phone. I don't want to talk to anyone. Can't I just build this on autopilot? Can I just press a button and build a 7-figure business? And unfortunately, the answer is no. And I don't mean to say that there aren't people who are just affiliate marketers only, but with our business, with our model, what we've done, the phone was a fairly crucial element for quite some time. Right? And especially in the beginning, if you're just starting out, if you're making a few $100 a month or maybe, a few $1,000 a month or you're not where you want to be yet, it could be, and if you're not doing any phone follow-up, it could be that that's the reason why. I know for us, like I mentioned earlier, when I first got into this game, I quit my job, I came home, all I did was I just called our leads. That's all I did. That was like my job. And I looked at it as my job. My job is to call people and create a relationship, establish a relationship, and try to help them out and solve their pain, right? So the first thing when you're following up with someone, obviously introduce yourself. And I've got a simple way to introduce, hey, this is Bill Pescosolido from Dallas, Texas. How are you? It doesn't get any easier than that, but you obviously want to introduce yourself. The second thing you want to do is share the reason why you're calling. Now, you might have a different version of why you're calling, but for me, it was, hey, I saw you requested some information off of a web page. Sounds like you're looking for a way to generate leads for your business. Is that still the case? Right? So sharing the reason why I was calling. Again, I just shared why. Like, why do you want to listen to me right now? Why, I'm identifying myself, but now why is it that I'm calling? And again, I just said, look, you land on our webpage, you requested some information. This had to do with generating leads for your business. Are you still looking to generate leads for your business? The next thing I did, and this isn't like in the course of the call, but a big thing that I did in the course of my evolution of doing this whole, calling people on the phone is when I first started calling people, I'd been in corporate America for 16 years. I always had sales jobs. And I came from the corporate world where I had, monthly quotas or quarterly quotas. It was very kind of like a high pressure environment. Even in some of those cases earlier in my career, you had to make a certain amount of dials every day. Like they tracked all this stuff. We had to do like quarterly funnel reports. And it was really those, matrices and markers, and they were constantly evaluating and analyzing your data. And in corporate America, it was all about selling, right? Because again, if I didn't sell, if I didn't produce, I got canned, right? There was someone there waiting to take my job. And when I came home and started calling people in the home-based business industry and calling our leads that we were generating and trying to, maybe refer people into MLSP or recruit them into our MLM at that time. In the beginning, I was still in selling mode, right? And I was leading with dollars and I was going for the close. And it didn't work out so well, I have to be honest. I realized the hard way, and it took 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months of me calling a lot of these leads, doing it the wrong way. And when I shifted my attitude from selling and going for the gusto and going for the close to helping, that's when everything really changed. I realized that I had a few different solutions, right? I had a few different possible solutions for them. But I went into each and every call, I didn't have a preconceived agenda. Right? I didn't go in thinking, okay, I'm going to definitely try to sell this person on our BizOp, or I'm going to try and sell this person one of our information products. Or like, I don't know if you've seen the movie The Interns with Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson. Vince Vaughn at one point in the movie, he's like, he's going to be on the phone team for Google, and he's like, when do I just get to like shove product down their throat, right? He's like, and so then so I introduced myself, and then I shoved product down their throat. and that's kind of, and if you don't see the movie, you don't get this. If you saw the movie, you know what I'm talking about. But his mindset was a hardcore selling mindset where he just wanted to shove product down people's throats. And that's how I started. And so when I ditched that and realized that, okay, I've got a few different solutions, which one might be right for these people? And I literally wanted to become a consultant rather than a salesperson, right? And I always use the analogy that I did is imagine if you went into your doctor's office and you had a problem, like it's allergy season. So you go in to see your doctor, like you make the appointment, you go in, you sit down, and the doctor says to you, hey, Bill, hey, good news. Merck Pharmaceuticals was just in there. They came up with this new product, and they just gave us a whole bunch of this new product to test out and give people samples. It's going to help. It's going to help you with your liver problems. So I'm going to prescribe you some of this liver medication. Right? And they gave us all the squishy balls and the Merck pens. So I got some pens too. Here, have some pens. And this liver stuff, this liver new medication, it's hot on the market. Merck's pushing this stuff. You're going to love it. This is going to help you with your liver. And he said, but doc, I'm here because it's allergy season. Right? Now, would that scenario ever happen? Right? I mean, honestly, do you think that you would just walk in and your doctor tries to shove some product down your throat? No. Right? What happens? You go in, you sit down, and the doctor diagnoses you. He runs a series of diagnostics. And what I started doing with my prospects and my leads is I ran a line of questioning, which was my diagnostics, right? I want to diagnose what really the problem is here. And so I started asking these questions. And much like your doctor says, well, what are your symptoms, Bill? Where does it hurt? Well, it's allergy season. I'm stuffy head and sneezy and itchy, watery eyes and, all this kind of stuff. And he says, okay, great. I've got some allergy medicine that I think will help you with your allergies. And he prescribes that to you. I would do the same exact thing because I want to be perceived as a consultant. Now, I knew no one would perceive me as a doctor, right? Because I'm not a doctor. But they could perceive me as a consultant. And I would take that doctor approach. I would diagnose them through a line of questioning. And if I had a solution for them, I would prescribe it. And much like how a doctor, if they can't help you out, they might refer you to a specialist. Well, I would do the same. If I didn't have a specific solution right there and then, but I knew something that could help them, I would refer them to the specialist, right? Just like your doctor would do for you. And that was a huge shift in how I was running my business from the phone follow-up standpoint. And I hope that makes sense and that you'll start doing that yourself in your business. Obviously, asking questions to identify pain. Share your story. So now this doesn't happen in the doctor's office, right? The doctor's not going to all of a sudden share a story of how he has, allergies as well. But I would share my story. Whichever it was, whether it was talking about our BizOp I was trying to recruit them into, whether it was My Lead System Pro, our system that I was trying to refer them into, or whether it was one of the information products that we may have had at our disposal to sell to them, I had a story for each one of those. And so I had several different stories, right? And based upon the call and the scenario, and it would change from one call to the next, from one prospect to the next, because their situations could be different, I had a different story. Right? And I basically had three different stories. I had one for when we were going to refer them into MLSP. I had one for when we were going to recruit them into our BizOp. And I had one for if I was going to, refer them into one of the different information products. And I had these three different stories that I was just, sharing all the time. I must have shared these stories like, a gazillion times. And the cool thing was is that after a couple of months, these stories just, they're like second nature to me. They're the same as if you shared a story about that Christmas one year when the tree fell down and the house blew up, right? I mean, it's a story if that ever happened to you. I hope not. But let's say you had a story like that. You don't need to reference notes. You don't need note cards. You don't stumble with the story. You just share it, right? Because it's your story. Well, my stories became my story. They were literally woven into the fabric of my existence. So I could share these stories just off the tip of my tongue at a moment's notice. And the stories had a few different elements. They had a beginning, a middle, and an end. And there was a pain, a realization, and a solution, right? And we'll go into more detail on that, but the story became a crucial element because people wanted to really understand that I had experienced I was feeling their pain, right? You don't need that when you go into a doctor's office, right? You just assume the doctor, he's a doctor. I assume he knows what he's doing. He went to like 90 years of school and he's bald and scruffy and he's got, a horrible signature he can't read. He obviously knows what he's doing, right? But for you on the phone, you don't necessarily have that immediate same street cred that the doctor has when you walk into their office. So you need your story there to establish that credibility and to establish that bond and to really fully realize that know, like, and trust potential that is so crucial in getting someone to partner with you or buy from you. So your story is crucial. And I want you all to really think long and hard about your story. So whether it's for your product or for your biz op or for whatever it is that you have right now that you're promoting or marketing or selling, if you don't have a story behind it, a personal story as to why you joined, what you gained from it, that includes your pain, the realization, and then the solution, you're absolutely missing out, because that's an absolutely undeniable critical element that you have to have every single time you're talking on the phone with a person. And then finally, after I asked them lots of questions, I diagnosed their pain, I shared my story, I would move forward to providing them a solution. Right? And I would take on a consultant type role with that. And I've done lots of training on how to actually kind of play that role as a consultant, how to overcome all the objections and really not even experience any objections. We don't have time for that tonight because we have a lot more to cover, but that would be really the anatomy of the phone follow-up and the formula, right? Introduce, share reason why you're calling, ask questions to identify pain, share my story, and move forward to solution. I just did it over and over and over again. And that's what got us to a 7-figure income.
Yeah, so hopefully, so far the recap that you guys are understanding, you start out with that Facebook page, you get it set up, you create the content, we've given you lots of ideas on that, you run those Facebook ads, follow-up emails, and then if you get people on the phone, obviously Bill's giving you some great tips on, how to follow up with them on the phone and recruit them into your business. Now, one of the biggest shifts, I would say the biggest shift that I feel like for us that took us from earning $25,000, $30,000 a month to pushing us to that $100K was the scaling formula. This is one of my favorite parts of this presentation because I did not get this early on. And I don't think Bill and I, either one of us did, because we sat stuck at that income level for about a year. And we tried different things, thinking
even longer than that.
Yeah, was it something we were promoting? Was it because we weren't doing something right? I mean, we were stuck at it until we finally understood how to scale our business.
And let me just jump in. I mean, to say that we were stuck at 25, 30 grand a month, a lot of you are probably saying like, oh, gee whiz, life must have been tough. That's a lot of money.
Everybody wants more.
Right. And it was. We were not, trust me, we're not like bummed to be only making 25 to 30 grand a month. However, you always want to grow in your business. You always want to get more, do more, produce more, earn more. And we literally had, I'd say it was a good solid year and a half, 2 years, where we could not break that number. Now, for us, that number happened to be, let's just say 25 grand a month. That might be, your number might be a different number. Maybe it's $2,500 a month, maybe it's 250 bucks, maybe it's whatever, 10 grand, But that was our number. And the point is we were stuck. We had plateaued. And we couldn't figure out, we couldn't break through that threshold, all right? And so not to sit here and cry a pity party because, oh, we were only making that much, but we were frustrated because we were stuck at that number and we couldn't break through. And once we realized that we needed to scale our advertising and scale our business and using the formula we're about to share with you, that's when we were able to basically break through. And whatever the number is for you, it basically allowed us to quadruple our income.
So, here you're looking at June, the amount of money that we spent on Facebook ads, which was around $3,000. And again, we just had a discussion with, we call him a good friend, mentor of ours. Obviously, he was making 7, 8 figures. So for us to listen to him, it made sense. And he just said, Bill, I'm going to show you guys are generating leads. You guys are making good money. You want to take it to the next level, you got to scale it, spend more money. And I did. I went in and we started spending $4,000 in July. Then we spent $8,500 and something in August. And I think this month we're going to spend close to $10,000 and our income keeps growing. So not only did we scale our business, our ad budget, meaning spending more each month to make more money, which makes a lot of sense. Like that seems like common sense now that I'm saying this to everyone. But for some reason, we just weren't doing it. We just kept, looking at, let me just keep, getting X amount of signups, and I only want to spend this much. You got to think bigger. And one of the other big shifts in our business is we invested in ourselves and in our business to the tune of about in May or June it was like $50,000.
Yeah, over the course of a few months, it was 50 grand.
But we were at that level where we were able to do that because we had to get ourselves to that next level. So that's going to be in correlation to wherever you are. So if you need to invest $1,000 to get to the next level, this is what I'm comparing it to, is we knew we had to invest more. We had to invest in ourselves, invest in a business that could get us to the next level.
And also the investment, and we talk about that, is roughly 50 grand. So it was roughly, like March, April, May-ish time frame that we spent about that $50,000 over those 3 months. It was also investing in relationships, which sounds weird. It sounds weird to say like you're investing in a relationship. Like, what are you buying friends? Like, and that's not really what it was. But investing in that relationship, meaning we knew that if we wanted to get to a point where we were going to earn 7 or 8 figures ourselves, we had to be running around and hanging out with people and learning from people who are earning 7 or 8 figures, right? You don't earn 7 or 8 figures by hanging out with people that are only earning 6 figures, right? And again, this is relative to whatever your number is. If you want to get to 6 figures, you need to start learning from and spending time with and allying yourself with other 6-figure earners. You're not going to get there by hanging out with people who are making $250 a month, right? So that was part of this investment. It was an investment in I just say our business overall. It was an investment from scaling the advertising, from buying the things that we needed, investing in those, but also, again, allying in those relationships, because again, for when you want to get with 7 or 8 figure earners, that doesn't happen for free, right? 7 and 8 figure earning people are extremely busy, right? And they have a lot of buffers in place. They may have like an assistant or a coach or someone. You can't even really touch them. You can't get in contact. You can't just email them and get a response back. You certainly can't call them on the phone, right? You have to kind of earn that or buy into it. Right? So we made the realization and the commitment to our business that this is an investment. We want to invest in these people, in our business, in our advertising, and it's paid off, phenomenally for us.
So this is the fun part. Let's talk about that scaling formula for all of you.
Yeah.
We're getting almost an hour and a half, so we probably should speed it up.
We're gonna go here.
So the scaling formula, he's talked about that. Adopt that pay to play mindset. I scaled the ad budget. Like I said earlier, we spend about $100 a day in likes ads on each one of our fan pages. We do about $200 a day in total for clicks to website ads. Again, this is just for you guys if you want to spend, $10 a day and then $20 a day, that's the ratio. You can see the ratio right there. Again,
yeah, you can lop a 0 or 2 off of our numbers.
Yeah. And then we immersed ourselves, like Bill said, with someone that has that next income level we wanted. Definitely did that. And then consistency. In the content creation, we always were putting out content, value to our targeted audience that we knew that we could share our message with, share that passion with, and change their lives so they could reach out to us, obviously, and, want to start working with us. So Bill's going to go over that formula if you want to write this down. This is really cool.
Yeah, so from an efficiency formula that we started implementing, and you're going to do this here live right now. So determine your monthly financial goal right now. Just think to your head, and make it I want you to shoot for a number that you're not at yet, but I don't want this to be like ridiculous, right? If you're making a few $1,000s a month, don't make your number all of a sudden like, $50,000 a month. Be realistic, but aspire to what your next level is, right? So determine what that monthly financial number is right now in your head. Write it down on a piece of paper. Let's say it's $10,000 a month. Again, I'm just as an example. Whatever that number is, divide it by 30, as in 30 days in the month. And then take that number and divide it by 3, as in we really only have 3 ultimately most productive hours in the day that we're working. Or for those of us that are doing this part-time, that's all we have, right? So the monthly number divided by 30 as in days of the month, divided then by 3 as in hours of the day. And now you've determined what I call your dollar per hour rate, okay? So for example, if that number was $10,000, divide it by 30, and then divide it by 3, it comes out to $111, right? So if $10,000 a month is your financial goal, your hourly rate is $111. Okay? Now, for us, the number was different, right? It was 100K divided by 33,333, divided by 3 hours, 1,111. Our hourly rate, $1,111. Basically, when I look at my time now, and here's where this comes into play, I'll just round down and say $1,000, right? $1,000 an hour. And this is what I want you to do, and this is what I do constantly. As I'm going about my business, as I'm going about my day, and I'm starting to do things, and sometimes I get caught up in stuff, and I'll get distracted. I'll reel myself back in, and I'll say to myself, is what I'm doing right now worth $1,000 an hour? Right? And that's a very crucial question. That's what you need to start asking yourself, whatever your number is. Again, let's use the $10,000 a month example, which means your hourly rate is $111, or let's just say $100. I want you to ask yourself throughout the day as you're doing stuff, is what I'm doing right now worth $100 an hour? Is this worth my time? Right? Because we all get caught up with maybe answering questions for the team or chasing stuff down that you don't need to do, finding out the answers for someone when they could find them out for themselves, playing on Facebook, tricking yourself into that you're working when you're really just farting around on Facebook. There's a lot of things that we can do or get distracted by. And the way you reel yourself in is by saying, is this worth whatever your number is an hour? And if it's not, all right, and here's the big deal. If it's not worth that number, in our case, $1,000, in your case, whatever, I want you to write this down. I don't have a slide for it, but I want you to write down, it's an acronym. I want you to write the word DEAL, D-E-A-L, all right? And the D stands for delegate. The E stands for eliminate. The A stands for automate. And the L stands for leverage. All right, deal. Delegate, eliminate, automate, leverage. As you're going through your day, as you're going through your whatever time it is building your business, working on your business, and you catch yourself saying, okay, crap, this is not worth my hourly rate. This is not worth $1,000 an hour or $100 an hour. You then have to implement deal. What am I doing? What can I either delegate, eliminate, automate, or leverage? Right? Can I have an assistant or a team member, and can I delegate this to them? Right? Eliminate. Is this something that is just nonsense that I shouldn't even be doing to begin with? Like, it has no value to me in my time.
Playing in your news feed.
Yeah, playing in your news feed. Or, again, trying to, it's great to answer new people's questions, but we're not customer service reps, right? Unless maybe you are, but I'm certainly not a customer service rep. I don't think you are either. I'm not the help desk, right? I'm not customer service. So if you ever find yourself doing that stuff, can you eliminate that, right? Or delegate it to someone else? Are there certain things you can automate? Right? Can you put some of your business into automation? Or finally, leverage? Are you doing leveraged activities? One of the big things for us, like I give you an example, if I were to make one phone call, and I'm not ragging on phone calls because I live by that, right? But one phone call is not a leveraged activity. One webinar for 100 people doing the same message is a leveraged activity. You're doing one webinar once for 100 people, right? Sending one email to your entire list is very leveraged, right? One email, if we've got a list of 30,000 people. So Michelle could send one email, and that's potentially hitting, 30,000 people. That's very leveraged, right? So ask yourself and be very, very hypercritical. Be your own best friend and be hypercritical of your business and your processes. And literally ask yourself constantly, what can I delegate, eliminate, automate, or leverage if it's not making you your hourly rate? Now, if it's a profit-producing activity, if it's calling leads, if it's doing a webinar, if it's producing content, if it's emailing your list, that is leverage, and that probably is going to hit your hourly rate. But anything outside of those profit-producing activities needs to be dealt. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Good.
So guys, and gals, you're probably, wondering, how are you going to create that content that sells? We've talked to you about that, but now how are you going to make sure that that sells? And then how are you going to run, profitable Facebook ad campaigns? I know a lot of you out there are probably still a little scared. We saw some hands up. How are you going to run those profitable Facebook ads that are going to actually get you results. How are you going to build a solid, trustworthy brand? We gave you a lot of tips tonight on how to do that and some strategies behind it, but that's definitely, the formula, the starting point that a lot of you need to go back and work and make sure that you're building that solid, trustworthy brand. Or maybe you're asking, how am I going to get more likes, more leads, and more sales in my business? That's why you're here, right? You want to be profitable in your business, or you wouldn't be following us, or you wouldn't be out there trying to figure out how to make a profit on Facebook. So we got some good news for everybody tonight that has, stuck it out with us. We have got you covered, and we are so excited about this because we're going to show you, how to build that rock star brand. That's exactly what we have built. I've heard it called a rock star brand. I call it the go-to brand. We are known for a specific reason, and people come to us for that reason, and we want to show you how to do that in your own business. We want to also show you how to create those profitable Facebook ads. You can lose a lot of money very quickly on Facebook. I'm sure if you want to raise your hand, feel free to please raise your hand and tell me. You've lost money on Facebook. So a lot of you probably want to know how to create those Facebook ads that are going to get you into profit. How to create compelling content that sells. You can post content all day long, but we're going to show you how to create that content in a structure that's going to sell for you. And then we're going to show you how to get more likes, more leads, and more sales in your business. And then how to build what Bill talked about, the know, like, trust factor. Again, how do you build that? We're going to show you how to get people to know you, to get people to like you, and to get people to trust you. And then we're going to show you how to create an automated Facebook business. Bill and I are sitting here doing this webinar. Our buddy Matt just posted on our page that we made $3,000. We're sitting here doing a webinar. That's automation. We're going to show you how to do that. So how many of you, by show of hands, actually wants to learn how to do this? Because I want to see where we are with things. And we are almost done with these. But I want to know. Everybody should be really raising your hands because we've got something that's just insane.
So Dennis, I was Cliff, Chris, nice, okay.
And some of you may already know this.
Jeff,
I see a lot
Jeff,
of hands.
All right, yeah, Julie, wow, lots. Okay, you all, looks like most of you want to learn this.
Yeah, and this is what we're really excited about, and we've never done anything like this before. It's called the 7-Figure Facebook Formula, where you're going to get 2 webinars, all right? This is over 4 hours of content. You just saw that we gave away an hour and a half worth of free content, okay? Now, when you get me on a webinar, when you get Bill on a paid webinar, any of you guys that have been on our webinars, you know we over-deliver, all right? We give you everything in our toolbox. We pour it out to you, all right? We don't want anybody walking out of this webinar not knowing how to take action and how to get results. So this is going to be step-by-step comprehensive training where you're going to learn how to create those 4 most profitable Facebook ads. All right, the page post engagement ads where you're going to be able to promote your blog posts, status updates, and videos. How to increase your brand awareness so you can get leads and sales. There's actually a formula to being able to do this. A likes ad, how to increase that brand awareness with those likes ads. And then how to do a clicks to website ad that's going to go out to your offers to where you can drive traffic. I know Jan said, how do I get people off of Facebook into my email list? These are the Facebook ads that we're going to show you how to set up step by step, how to choose your bidding, how to choose that audience, show you how to set up the countries you need to focus on, how to break your ads down into ad sets in the ad manager, things that may be foreign to you right now as I'm throwing these words out to you. Don't worry, we have you covered. We're going to show you how to do that. Then you're also going to get how to optimize your Facebook ads, all right? I have been running a likes campaign for 3 weeks now and have been so unhappy with the price of our likes, all right? And for me to be able to share the knowledge with you that I have finally tapped into, and you're probably thinking, why don't you already know this, Michelle, after 3.5 years? Because Facebook is always changing, and it's my job to spend that money, get the results, and come share it with you. And I'm going to show you how to optimize those ads because the end result, I finally nailed a Facebook ad that's getting us amazing likes for under 30 cents. Now on Megan's fan page, we're getting them for about 3 cents. So we're going to go through how to get those likes cheap because that's what you want, or those inexpensive likes, but yet quality likes, all right? And then how to scale your Facebook business. We're going to go into that because there's a way to scale it. If you start getting results with your ads, I'm going to show you how to analyze those ads, the ones where you're not getting results, how to read it, how to know that you're wasting money in one area, and where to put it in an area that is actually going to make you a profit. And then the big thing is how to stop losing money on Facebook and start generating massive profits for your business. I've seen people go broke on Facebook and then don't ever want to come back. But Bill has been able to talk to them, show them how they can actually start making money by doing Facebook ads and not losing. Sometimes it's just that person is a degree off. Just one little degree off, and if we can make that adjustment for you, you're going to get results. And here's the deal, guys. We have a lot more. So we're going to show you how to also create in these webinars and refine and explode your brand, all right? So we're going to talk more about how to create your brand so you can understand what your messaging is and your passion, all right? And then we're going to show you how to define that exact customer avatar so you know who to target. And you're not just out there targeting all the entrepreneurs who may not be interested. That's a poor way to target people to get them to your fan page. We're going to really drill down and help you understand what your target audience needs to be. And then we're going to cultivate your perfect message. So you really understand there's a formula that we're going to go through this so you understand from here on out what your message needs to be to your audience. So they keep coming back to learn from you. They keep coming back to your page because they know, as we're going to show you how to create compelling content, because they know that you have content on there that they enjoy reading, that they want to click on, that they want to go to and learn more about. And then eventually that's going to sell for you because you're building that community on your fan page. And then be the dominant face and voice in your niche. That's ultimately what you want to be. You want to be known for something. Now, I don't know what that is until we start going through this and breaking this down for you. And that's what we want to be able to help you with. How can you be that dominant face, that go-to person within your niche? And that's what you want, all right?
So Michelle just kind of explained to you what we're offering, what you're going to get. Before we get into the price, I just want you, consider why you're here, all right? Why are you here tonight? Well, the first reason why you're here is because as an entrepreneur, you know you need a formula to succeed, right? We did not get into this 3.5, 4 years ago thinking we're going to create this formula, right? But we did, right? Over time, we started developing this formula and we started realizing that this is what is working for us. So we took this formulaic approach for our own business, and I think you've seen the results, right? I mean, literally, if you go to either one of our Facebook pages right now, our personal pages, you'll see fortunate, awesome, we just made $3,000 while on this webinar, like from a whole different thing, right? We know what we're doing. Michelle's not known as the Facebook queen for nothing, right? So we now basically created this formula for our own business, but we want to share it with you because, again, you know that you need a formula to succeed in your business because without that, you'll be spinning your wheels and you'll be wondering why other people are having success and you are not. It's because you won't have a formula. So that's why you're here tonight. The second reason why you don't want to take the long, exhaustive, painful road to success, all right? You could choose to go this on your own, right? And you could spend lots and lots of money on Facebook ads. You could hemorrhage cash, trying to figure this all out on your own, or you could ally yourselves with us. We know what we're doing and we want to help you out, all right? This has taken us basically not necessarily consciously, but 3.5, 4 years to figure this out, right? We're going to take that 3.5, 4 years of experience and knowledge and the lumps that we had to take, the bumps and bruises. We had to do a lot of things wrong to figure out what to do right. We're going to take that 3.5, 4 years that it took us, and we're going to condense that down for you, right? So we're going to condense it down so that you don't also have to go through the bumps and bruises and the pains that we had to go to get to where we are. Now, Michelle just shared with you, we're in a fortunate position right now. We have the advertising budget to play with, to test things out. We can afford to lose a little money, right? To figure out exactly what to do and what not to do. But can you? You can't. But what you can do is learn from us and work with us and partner with us so that you don't have to have the pain and suffering of just hemorrhaging cash and wondering why the heck this isn't working out, banging your head against the wall, and ultimately, just giving up on this thing. So ultimately, there's two kinds of people. There's those who sit on the sidelines, who really don't take action, and who sit there and wonder. They see other people walking across the stage. They see other people having the success. They see other people, moving forward and having traction in their business, and they just don't know why it's not happening for them. And then you have those who take action, take control of their businesses, and ultimately take control of their life, right? So I hope that you are number two. I mean, you joined here tonight. You joined us on this webinar. You took action to be here. Now it's time to take one more action so you can finally get the kind of results that you deserve in your business. So you're wondering, okay, how much does this cost? Well, as I talked earlier about that dollar per hour value, ours is $1,000 right now. Like it or not, we can absolutely charge $1,000 for our time, and people will pay for that. We don't give our time away for free at all. And as you saw in that formula, our going rate right now is $1,000. But we don't want to charge you $1,000 for this product because we want to really help you out with this and make it affordable for you. So it's not $1,000. We then thought, well, $497 because, well, it's half of that, and that's a good number, right? That's definitely worth our time. $500, $497 is definitely something that's doable for us. We feel comfortable with that. But we really wanted to make this irresistible because we wanted to help out as many people, as many of you as we can. So we're not going to charge you $497. What we're going to charge you for this is $147, all right? And this really is a $147 investment. As I talked about earlier, we've spent upwards of $50,000 just this year alone investing in ourselves and in our business and in our relationships. We want to give you a similar thing, but for a fraction of the cost. So for you to partner with us, it's a $147 investment. Right now, just go to michellepescosolido.com/7-figure course. That is the URL right there in the presentation. So michellepescosolido.com/7-figure course. All right, you're going to get everything that Michelle just shared with you. This is going to be jam-packed 2 different night webinar series, probably about 5 hours worth of content.
They start next week.
It starts next week. And you'll basically have all the questions that you've had coming into this, all the questions that you still have will be answered, and you'll be able to implement this stuff, and you'll be able to walk away with finally be able to build your own formula for your own success, and we're going to help you out along the way. Now, we do have a fast action bonus. This is today only, right? So this expires at midnight tonight. Our good friends, and you want to talk about this?
Yeah, I mean, our good friends, Kate and Andrew McShay, some of you might know them. We've been working pretty closely with them. In fact, we are in the talks of doing a live workshop we're really excited about. So, you'll see a lot of us hanging out together, but they're going to do something, a bonus webinar. So this is going to be like 3 webinars, and it's called the Facebook Video Cash Flow Formula. They go into a lot more detail about what it's going to, like what the structure of your video should be like. Like this one webinar is worth like $497, but it's all, you're getting this as a bonus. I've done a webinar very similar with them to this, but they're going to go into a lot more detail. So they're going to show you how to structure those videos, what you need to say in that, and then how to weave in your product to be able to sell. And then they're going to go into even more detail on how to actually do these video ads that they're doing. Now, while we do some video ads through the course that Bill and I are doing for you, we're going to do them through page post engagement ads, but they go into more detail about using the Power Editor with it, which, we do use the Power Editor sometimes, not as much as they do when it comes to those videos. So they're going to do an entire webinar on that for you guys if you take action today. All right. I think that honestly it's getting late and we should extend that till tomorrow because some people might want to see the replay and stuff.
Okay.
So tomorrow night at midnight, just putting that out there. Okay. So, oops, I hope that doesn't happen. So you can go to that link there. I mean, I hope you guys see the value in this. I mean, we gave a ton of value tonight in this webinar. You guys should be ready to take off and make sure that your formula, your Facebook brand, everything is set up the way it needs to be. You've gotten the blueprint. You know what it takes. But now you need to kind of know how to plug it in. And again, it's going to be over 4 hours of content. It's not anything that we could have sat down here and taught tonight. It's really for those of you that are committed to building your business online using Facebook and that you want to sit down with us for those hours and dive even deeper. Because I know not everybody wants to do that on this webinar. You just maybe wanted the formula and what it takes, and you want to try to figure it out on your own. But what we're looking for here is people that are really committed and don't mind sitting on a webinar that might take over 2 hours. And you will get the recorded version, all right? So don't worry about that if you can't attend these live. It will be next week on Tuesday and Thursday. So, we're really giving it away here. I mean, we could have easily sold this for $497, but
we were going to, in fact, but we decided we wanted to make this irresistible. We wanted to help out as many people as we can, and just to kind of let you know. I mean, this is not for the person who wants to just get rich quick. This is not for the lazy person who just wants to press one button and build a 7-figure business. Right, but this is for you who are committed, who are serious entrepreneurs, who actually envision, working with us, allying yourself, and building a long-term, profitable, sustainable business. If you want to get quick rich, go buy a lottery ticket. But if you want to really build a long-term, sustainable business, you got to make the decision, take action now. Go to michellepescosolido.com/7-figure course. You'll get notified immediately of the confirmation. We'll start setting things up for the webinars next week, and you'll be on your way towards creating your own formula, your own 7-figure blueprint for yourself, and basically creating your own legacy that you can then go on and share with others once you've basically got this all figured out.
Yeah, so let's see if we have any questions here. Oh, do you
so it's the 7-figure Facebook formula. Before we wrap up here, let me just remind you of something that you already know. It's easy to get lost. It's easy to get pulled in different directions. Like I said earlier, an original mentor, a guy who's way smarter than I was, said, "Bill, without a formula, you're just gonna be spinning your wheels in the mud." So I know you know this because as a serious entrepreneur, you know that you need to partner with the right people and you need to have a formula in place, and we're going to provide that for you. So when you click on, well, actually there's nothing to click on, but when you go to michellepescosolido.com/7-figure course, go there right now, take advantage of this. We'll get you Kate and Andrew's bonus webinar, which we basically cashed in on a favor to get that for you, right? That comes at a little bit of a pretty price there for us. It was a big favor we cashed in, but we wanted to because we want to make you completely well-rounded and have everything answered and dialed in for you so that you'll have your own formula for your own business and you can start basically rocking and rolling and become the go-to person in your niche where people will be seeking you out for help, for guidance, and the know, like, trust factor. You'll have new partners, new affiliates, new customers, new distributors. It'll absolutely jettison your business to a level that you've yet to see. So we're excited for this course. We're excited to work with you. Again, just go right now to michellepescosolido.com/7-figure course, and you'll get an immediate confirmation from us with all the details and all the goodies that you're going to get by joining us and working with us.
Yep. So let's see if we have some questions here. Let's see. All right, let me go through a couple. All right, let's see. Leslie, definitely send us an email. Kevin, send us an email also. I'll type the email in here. Those are good questions, Kevin and Leslie, so make sure that you send that. Bear with me here. I'm sure you guys know our emails, but Scott, congratulations. I see that you took action.
Nice. Well done,
awesome.
Scott.
You're going to really get a lot of value out of it. I know you've been always interested in doing Facebook. Yeah, no matter what business you're in, even Pamela, it's all about building your brand, and you can incorporate this course around that. So no matter what company, what business you're in, you can definitely, use the webinars and in this course that we're going to be teaching to build that business also.
Yeah, so when you join us, you'll realize that it's generic to your business, but it's going to dive deep into the specifics of what you need to do.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Okay. So it's going to definitely be on Tuesday and Thursday. I believe it's 8 p.m. Eastern. But it will be recorded. No worries. Thank you, Terry. All right, awesome, awesome. Yes, thank you, Bill.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you, Scott. I love it. Bloody brilliant presentation. Very sweet of you. Yes, Dennis. All right. All right, so some of you that are already in the course, you might have gotten the 2 webinars canceled. As a new email went out today to give you the dates. It's the same dates, but they're just different links.
Yeah, the webinars themselves weren't canceled.
Yeah,
the specific,
we just had to get different links.
Yeah, the specific go-to meeting element of it was canceled, and we created new ones. So the webinars are still going on, the same nights, the same times, just a different link from a technical go-to meeting standpoint.
And Lisa, is asking something that she learned from another Facebook person. I definitely do things differently. I know him very, very well. I'm in his course actually. So I would say love him to death. I do, but I don't think his expertise is necessarily in Facebook. So yeah, Lisa, I mean, I definitely teach things a lot differently than what he's teaching there. All right, so that looks like it. Looks like you don't have a lot of questions here. Perfect. Thank you, Tom. Awesome. I see a lot of you are saying you took action. We're very, very exciting.
Nice. Congratulations, Tom.
Taking a video, trying to she has. Do you know what she?
Congratulations. Looks like awesome. Mary's in. She's taking action. That's awesome.
I know some of you just said you're in a course with Kate and Andrew already. I think that just this is part of the bonus. I mean, anytime you can get a bonus like that to hear from them again on another live webinar, you're bound to pick up some more nuggets along the way. Okay. Thank you, Leslie. All right, so yeah, I mean, if you guys have any questions at all, I mean, just feel free to reach out to us. We're almost at 2 hours. We don't want to keep anybody on here any longer. Thank you so much. I hope you guys got a lot of value. I hope a lot of you took action, if not all of you, because I recognize a lot of your names on here, and this is where we're going to deliver all the goods and really be able to dive a lot more deeper into the Facebook ads world and creating content, because there's definitely a lot of structure to it, and I bet that it's probably the missing piece to a lot of your businesses that most of you are trying to do on Facebook. If you're not getting results, I think what you'll learn in this course, in fact, I know for sure, and Scott Smith can tell you that, and Kayla, his lovely wife, can tell you that, that, it will change your business. We're going to be able to share with you some things that you're probably not already doing that's going to get you into profit. So that's all I have. Do you want to add anything?
Yeah, no, just a few more people here commenting. Looks like Mike's in. He's taking advantage. He's taking action. Congratulations, Mike. Dave as well is in. Jen or Jennifer, I'm not sure which, she's taking action right now too. That's awesome. We're really looking forward to working with you all. We really look at this as a way to just, again, help you with your business. Our goal right now is to help you. We've figured a lot of stuff out. Not saying that we still can't grow, we're still growing, but we've figured enough out that we're at a point where this is what we get off on, for lack of a better term. This is where our passion is to take people like you and help to massage and mold and give you the formula to get you to where you want to be with your business, right? And obviously that's the point. That's why we're all here. We're not here to dawdle around. We're not here to just, be in education mode. It's about taking action. So obviously, taking action right now, going to the link is the best thing that you can do to put yourself in a position where you can now have a business on automation. You can be the go-to person in your niche, and you can finally start earning what you deserve to earn. So you're not just working and banging your head against the wall and wondering why is it not working for me and it's working for everyone else. You will now finally start getting the results that you know you deserve. So we can't wait to work with you. Definitely, click on or go to that link. It's michellepescosolido.com/7-figure course. We'll keep that bonus open until tomorrow night. Again, free bonus for Kate and Andrew's webinar. And awesome feedback here. Again, looks like lots of people are diving in. So we are excited. We cannot wait for this to kick off, start working with you all. And I think that's probably it.
Yeah, thank you so much. And we'll get this recording out tomorrow to y'all.
Yeah, thanks everybody. Thank you for your time tonight. Thank you for attending, and we can't wait to work with you.
All right.
We'll see y'all soon.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye.